should have been at a profit if you guys have been following me since yesterday's live streaming. So our live streaming will be daily from Monday to Friday. So if you guys do miss on it, make sure that you guys don't miss on it, because I will be reviewing events that has been happening around the world, and I'll be sharing anything that could be useful for the insight. So if you guys like to skip it, and if you guys like to watch for a few seconds or a few minutes, and then I'm afraid that you guys could have been missing on good signals that could have been appearing after discussing on the events. So I will be discussing some events, then I'll be looking back on the charts, okay? But for first, I will be discussing on this content list. I'll be talking about the price changes, what happened yesterday, and what happened on the big news on the night, as well as what can we use out of yesterday's event for today's sentiment insights, and what can we use it on the trading side. As usual, if you guys have any other questions, you can directly click on the website link above. I believe that you guys could be looking through that website link for you guys to join in to have an instant discussion with me. Otherwise, I couldn't be seeing any of your comments, because I'm afraid that most of those comments will be just read through the other site, not by me personally. So I do believe that if you guys want to have a more instant and live updates from my sites, you need to click on that link for you guys to have a daily real-time discussions with me. Okay guys, so what has been going on since yesterday? So I will be discussing as usual, starting from the commodities price changes first. So we do see that the gold prices, silver, crude oil, even copper, all are registering declines, where we are seeing the declines are varying from 0% towards 1.3%, as we do know that yesterday we have Fed Chair sharing his comments regarding his decisions to do a rate cut in the future, and that could really determine whether the rate cuts will be big, or whether the rate cut could be 25 basis point, or the rate cut could be 50 basis point. So it's a very important speech made by the Fed Chair, and we would be seeing a lot more market reactions out of those, because I do believe that this news event that has been happening would be just impacting the market on a short-term basis, but the most important thing is the overall market that has been going on. And we do know that the market has been going quite well, because we do see that gold is breaking through all-time high levels, which is a very good sign. And we also know that out of silver, it already almost break out of the all-time high. So it's very close. It's just shy of its record high, and it's very close towards breaking higher and higher. So I will be making sure that you guys need to pay attention a lot towards gold and silver, because I'm expecting, if there isn't any big news from the central banks, but probably if there is a huge escalations happening on the Middle East side, I'm expecting there could be a lot of movement on those precious metal side, including crude oil, because it will be definitely impacting the supply side. Okay, next I will be talking through the currency price changes, and we do see some mixed signals out of here. We are seeing that yesterday Australian dollar alongside the pound sterling managed to gain some strength against the US dollar, but the euro, Canadian dollar, and Japanese yen weakened against those. So we would be trying to see whether that trend still sustains, but I'm seeing the overall trend that the US dollar still weakens. So let us see from the currency strength charts later on, but my view on that side won't be changing a lot, because I'm still seeing that expectations could be continuing US dollar weakening with the expectations of further rate cuts from the Fed side. Moving on to the stock indices. So we do know that the global stock indices managed to correct itself after such a huge rally for a couple of days, and right now we are seeing that from the US stock market, it was still able to close on a good record closing for the month, because right now today we are already entering a new month, October, so it will be definitely impacting the stock market calculations for their net asset value. So a lot of people, including fund managers, portfolio managers, are trying to rebalance their accounts, their portfolios for their clients in order for them to get the best results. And we do see that the stock markets are closing all in the positive zone, just the exceptions for the Nikkei side, where we are still seeing that impact out of the Victor on the LDP side. And we do see that today the Japanese stock market managed to rebound after that chaotic market yesterday. Okay, so next I will be discussing the last price actions out of the cryptocurrency sites, where we are seeing that it follow along suit with the precious metals, where we are seeing the declines are varying from -1% to up to almost 6%, where we are seeing both Bitcoin and Ethereum are closed at -3%, meanwhile BNB are closing almost at a -5.7%, and Solana registered the least losses at 0.88% negative. So overall, we are still seeing that whenever risky assets are going down, it's going to go down alongside with cryptocurrencies and the gold and silver side. But from the stock market, it could be probably giving us some different indications, because sometimes there are some measures taken by portfolio managers to make sure that their portfolio closes at a good price at the end of the month. Okay, so what has been happening since then? So let us discuss on the news side, guys. Okay, so a global equities index fell by 0.21% on Monday as the Federal Reserve Chair dampened hopes for another big rate cut, and I will be digging on with those details later on, so make sure that you guys stay tuned with it. But the SP 500 and the Dow registering record closing highs on the last day of the quarter, when many traders make last-minute adjustments to their portfolios. And also investors were also monitoring the Middle East escalations and devastations from Hurricane Helen, as well as an impending strike by the US port workers and news from China. And as a result, the dollar rose after Fed Chair more hawkish tone and signaled that the Fed will make 2 25 basis point cuts this year if the economy evolves as expected, leading traders to bear paths for a big rate cut in November. And as a result, we are seeing on the Treasury yields, 10-year notes rose by 3.6 basis points, 2-year notes are up by 7.4 basis points, and those gap between 2 and 10-year Treasury notes were at a positive at 14.6 basis points. Next, we are currently seeing that the expectations of the probability of a bigger rate cut are dropping from 53.3% to now 36.7% according to the CME Group's Fed Watch. And moving on to the Asian market side, we are seeing that the yen currency managed to remain in choppy trading as the market shock subsides over the elected factor in the leadership race for the ruling LDP, alongside Japan industrial production fell in August for the first time in 2 months. And all of those events lead to the Japan's currency as much as 0.5% before swinging up to gains in the afternoon to 141.65 at one point. Moving on to the European side news, we have the Italian side inflation sank below 1%, together with German inflation's eased below the ECB's 2% target for the very first time since February 2021, giving more pressures on the ECB side to accelerate the interest rate cuts in the next meeting less than 3 weeks. And the president of the European Central Bank is also becoming more optimistic that it will be able to get the inflation under control, and that will be reflected on the October interest rate decision. As well, moving on to the Great Britain side, we also received some official data on Monday, showed that GDP growth was slower than initial thoughts in the second quarter at a downwardly revised 0.5%, with forecasters expecting that the UK will be expanding at a more pedestrian pace, lower pace at 0.3% a quarter going forward. And as a result, the dollar index managed to rise by 0.3% after that remark out of the Fed chair, and the euro was down by 0.3%. And the dollar managed to strengthen against the Japanese yen by almost 1%. Moving on to the energy markets, we are seeing that US crude settled down 1 cent at the $68.17 cents a barrel, but tumbled by almost 7% in just September, its biggest monthly decline since October 2023, and managed to go down by a total of 16% in its biggest quarterly drop, which means in 3 months it's dropping by 16% since the third quarter of 2023, as waning global demand concerns overshadowed fears of the conflict curtailing supply. In other commodities, we are also seeing that spot gold fell by 1% to 2,631.4 cents an ounce, taking a breather after a historic rally driven by US monetary policy easing by the Fed, and also the heightened Middle East escalations, which puts gold on course for its biggest quarterly gain since early 2020. So that is all from the news side, and let us dive deeper on those events and what can we use out of those. Okay, so it seems that we have some news coming up for this week, and we will be discussing on that side. We have Fed Chair speaking on the NABE alongside with the BOE policymakers, as well we have ECB presidents talking at later. We will be discussing on their comments and seeing what can we be used out of those events, which I believe that could be giving us some clear indications on the directions of the major central banks. And we do have some inflation data out of Italian side as well as the Germany side. Okay, so we will be talking right now, focusing on the currency strength charts. Right now, what we are currently seeing is the weakening of the Japanese yen. But somehow along the way, across the London sessions towards the US sessions, we are started to see that the Japanese yen managed to gain some strength alongside with the US dollar as well as the Canadian dollar. But the weakening parts of the currency are right now coming up from the New Zealand dollar side, and as well as we are also seeing that weakening part also sustaining on the euro side, where we have received some data inflations, which I believe that could be leading to a lower euro currency in the future, alongside with GBP as well. So we will be probably taking a course at NZD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, as well as those pairs against the Japanese yen pairs later on. So let us check on the charts for now, guys. Okay, so if you guys do have any other questions that you would love to ask, you can directly let me know on the discussions chat room. So make sure that you guys click on that link upside on the chat room, so you can click on it and join in for a real-time discussions with me. Otherwise, I couldn't be seeing any of your comments or any of your discussions or anything that you need to ask or inquire about. So because otherwise I couldn't be seeing any of your comments. Okay, guys. Right now, let us review what happened since yesterday. So yesterday, I do believe I shared this signal. So if you guys do follow us on a daily basis, I believe that most of you guys would have been receiving this signal, because every day on the day I will be reviewing on the gold trade first before I'll be reviewing also other currency pairs. Okay, guys. But before that, let me have a break for a moment. Alright, guys. So right now, what we have been seeing across the charts on the gold side, let me pull back towards the daily charts for you guys to have a clearer view on that side. So as you guys see that yesterday, the US dollar managed to strengthen on its own out of the comments of the Fed chair, where he has been saying that there's a possibility they will be cutting interest rates just by 25 basis points rather than the 50 basis points, and that really helped to reduce the prices of gold, prices of silver, as well as the prices of copper, which all of those three bellwether indicators that really help to see how strong the demand of those precious metals that could really help to see out of the policymakers' comments and decisions that they will be making. Alright, so right now we are currently seeing that after reaching towards these price actions around 2620, 224. Over the course of last night, it managed to rebound, closing at around 2,630 plus, back towards our price entry again, guys. So yesterday, I do share this signal with you guys, buy gold at around 2,635. And I believe that if you guys do pay attention towards those price actions before the live streaming, actually this signal could be reused, guys. So that's one of it. And second, right now, if you guys have missed out on those signals, no worries, guys. Right now, we will be reviewing on what could be the possible scenario and what could we do on right now. Okay, it seems that there hasn't been a lot of changes right now, because what we are seeing right now is the possibility of it reaching another resistance around 2,653. So based on today's current price actions, it's definitely that uptrend has still been consistent and persisted. As you guys can see, it managed to rebound around this strong support area 2,630 towards 2,640, and afterwards it managed to rebound higher than that. But right now we are in a very critical point of prices where we are currently seeing the weaknesses around this price candle for this hour, meaning that right now won't be a good time to do a buy long, because in terms of risk and reward, we will be waiting for the confirmations of breaking out higher than 2,654. But before that happens, it's a very risky thing, and there's a possibility it could be giving some retracements, so we could be possibly seeing some corrections towards 2,640 before rebounding higher. So let me draw for you guys if you don't understand what I'm saying clearly. So there's a possibility it could be reaching around here before rebounding higher. Okay, so I'm seeing that possibility happening, even though my view on the gold side is still pretty much obvious. After yesterday's corrections, I'm seeing the possibility of it continuing that uptrend, but it needs to have some corrections before going higher, because right now in terms of volume, it's just half of yesterday's volume, and I'm expecting that today there will be some data coming out from the JOLT as well as the ISM manufacturing PMI. So definitely these data will be helping us to see the market reactions afterwards. So from my side, actually I am seeing that those data will be released on another 2.5 hours. So I believe that could be on the other live streaming hour sessions, not mine. So probably after this timing arrives at around another 2.5 hours, there will be a lot more volatility on that side. Okay, so what can we do for now? So honestly speaking, guys, I'm not seeing any good entry points. Probably the best case scenario right now would be doing a short, but let us try to do a short just for a short-term basis, trying to put a price target around 2,645, as well as to the next price target at around 2,640, because right now I'm not seeing the possibility of it going further below and again. So I will be giving you guys a sell signal. Just for a short-term basis again, because right now I am not seeing any clear market signs, honestly speaking, guys. So it's just for short term, but this time for today it will be a sell side. So you guys could have entered at around 2,650 towards 600. Okay, I believe that most of you guys have missed that entry point since I'm speaking, so I will be adjusting the price entry. Put your stop losses just above today's high at around 2,652. So it's very low risk setup, aiming for 2,645, and the next price target will be around 2,640 towards 2,641. Okay, there you go, guys. So I believe that that trade has been executed, and right now we are already in a small floating profit, guys. I do believe on that side. So if you guys do pay attention from our discussions, you guys could have been reacting on it. So this would be my first signal for today, and as usual guys, I've been letting you guys know that it will be just a short-term signal, because right now we are not seeing any clear market momentum from that uptrend that could be continuing. Okay guys, all right, next we will be reviewing on the other side on the silver trade. Probably there will be some much more interesting signals coming out of that side. Alright, it seems that the silver side trade is much more interesting guys. So it's very clear it couldn't break out higher than that resistance. So if you guys do want to trade on it, you can try to sell it guys. You can short it around this price actions right now. Put a stop losses just above this high. Try to aim for here. Okay, so it's just trading on this sideways ranges, and you can try to open here, sell positions, and then aim for these prices. Okay, so that will be the second signal for today, because currently it's very clear the signal, it could be going through some correctional phases before going higher on both gold and silver. Okay, so that will be the second signal for today. Try to sell silver as well at the current prices, and put your stop losses just above today's high, just for safety reasons. Yeah, so it will be giving you guys a risk reward ratio of at around 1.8 towards 2. Okay guys, all right, so you can try to sell, put your target at around 31.1, stop losses at around 31.44. Okay, all right, so let us view back on those price actions on the currency side. Okay, so maybe if you guys do missed on it, I will be just writing the signal just for the sake for you guys to read it easily, but I'm not seeing any sell signal. So okay, then I think I should be looking for those sell signals. Okay, let's clone it. Where is it guys? So let me readjust this price signal. Okay, it seems that the prices has moved a lot, so if you guys do follow my signals and my explanations, I do believe that you guys could have been entering the trade at around 31.356. Yeah, so entry prices will be around 35.35 to 31.36. Stop losses at around 31.48. 5 price target. Okay, second price target would be around 31.2. The last price target will be around Oops. Alright, yes. So it seems that the price action started to retrace back towards our entry point. So if you guys are interested on that trade, you could be entering on those trades. As usual, it's just for the short-term basis as well. It's similar with gold. And remember guys, since silver is much more volatile in terms of its movement, so make sure that you guys don't put too much positions on it as usual. Alright, it seems that after going back towards our entry prices, now it has been going back lower. So right now we are in a floating profit as well. So let us check back on the gold side for now, see how it goes. Okay, it seems that it hasn't been moving a lot. It's a total of a floating profit for now at around $1. Not bad, but it's just a short time. We will be waiting for at least like around another 30 minutes to an hour to see that market reactions. Okay guys, so let us check back on the currency sides for now. Alright, so currently we are seeing, after the weakening side of the Japanese yen, we are started to see some resistance out of the Japanese yen, trading on a volatile market around these ranges. And not surprising, since there's a lot of movements from the Japanese market as well as the US dollar market. But I'm not seeing the confidence to do a short in these current price actions, because it just doesn't seems to be the right decisions to do so. Because I believe if I'm trying to pull out, let's see, USD NZD could be giving us a much better trading choice. Probably that could be the case. Okay, but it seems that it doesn't work on that side. It seems that the today New Zealand dollar has been weakening. Alright, so let us check back on the other currency strength charts, and Euro USD could be one of the good trades, guys. Okay, it seems that this could be a good trade for now, and my case on the Euro USD has been very bearish for a long time, so we could be probably entering the trade like right now, and I'll be giving you guys the explanations later on regarding shorting the Euro side. So let us just clone this up. And let me change the details on it. So if you guys do follow now the live streaming, you guys could be entering the trade, because I'm afraid after I written out all of those details, you could be missing on a good entry point, guys. Okay, so make sure that you guys trade on it before I finish writing down those signals. Okay, because it takes a few minutes, but a few minutes sometimes market changes could be a lot, guys. Okay, so if you guys do watch it live, make sure that you guys make the trade before I finish writing down those signals. Alright, so that would be my third signal for today, and I believe that most of the currency pairs that is against the euro would be weakening. So let's say I do check on Euro GBP, it could be also falling down lower and lower. Euro CHF, it also could be lower and lower. And I believe this has also been in a profit the last time I'm sharing this. So if you guys do follow us, I always share from multiple ranges of products, and you could be trading in a lot of trading pairs. And right now this could be also one of the good pairs, guys, but unfortunately I've been sharing too much and I'm afraid that I'll be running out of time. So I'll be giving you just, guys, some short signals based on this side. So you guys could be entering around here, put your stop losses just above here, try to aim around. So try to aim around here could be the best case, okay? Since the market reactions are quite fast, so you guys could be started to short the Euro CHF as well, guys, okay? So sometimes I'm not writing the signals because I'm writing too much and it could be taking up too much time, so I will be just letting you guys know what is my view on the market. Put your shorts here, sell Euro CHF, put your stop losses at around 0.395, target price at 0.937. Okay, guys, let's move on and let us check on the other currency sites. Probably the biggest changes on the market could be coming up from the so to make you guys easier, let us check it directly. We are seeing that US dollar started to strengthening. All right, Euro is still weakening, GBP is also weakening. Okay, so let us check GBP USD. All right, guys, GBP is weakening definitely, but right now won't be a good time to short it. So let us take another view on other charts. Surprisingly, almost every pair that is against the Swiss franc could be giving us some short signal, guys, okay? Just the exceptions on USD CHF. But other than that, I am not seeing a lot of market movements. That is pretty much clear. So probably AUD JPY could be one of the good trades for tonight. Yep, AUD JPY could be one of the good trades, guys, because you guys could see after reaching the resistance here, it didn't manage to go higher than that, and right now we are already started to see that kind of retracements and the correctional phase out of these pairs. And I believe that it will be the same case for the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. The same case started to weaken after reaching the resistance for the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. It could be also the case on the CAD Japanese yen after reaching those highs, guys, okay? So it's pretty much in line with our view on the CAD Japanese yen, AUD Japanese yen, NZD Japanese yen. So right now it would be a very good time to do a short. From right now, what we are currently seeing, I am seeing the possibility of a good short pair around Euro Japanese yen. Definitely would be one of the good pairs. GBP Japanese yen also could be one of the good pairs. But in terms of risk and reward, I am seeing that the best right now is coming out from the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Try to put your shorts around here. Cut your losses just above this. Try to aim for this support area. It will be giving you guys a total of 40 pips, I believe that, guys. So if you guys are interested on doing that short on the Japanese yen pair, I will be suggesting that you guys do short on the AUD JPY, because I'm seeing the AUD Japanese yen weakening, or probably NZD Japanese yen could be one of the good choice as well. but I'm much more confident on the AUD Japanese yen, so I will be giving you guys these recommendations. Okay, so I think that would be part of the charting views for tonight, because I'm already giving out a lot of insights on the possible money making signals for tonight. So I believe this could be one of the good trades for tonight. AUD Japanese yen alongside Euro CHF. It has been going lower and lower, even lower than our entry prices, guys. So right now it could be a good time to do that trade. A target of a total around 15 pips, so that will be a good trade, guys. As well as the gold signal that I see, it has been going down, almost reaching our price target around 2,645. So that is a good sign of the market, because we are seeing it could be reaching our first price target very soon enough. And also out of the silver side, and I believe it has already even reached our price target at around 31.27. So as you guys can see, silver prices are much more volatile, and we are already seeing it has already even reached our first price target at around here. So the market movement is very clear. It's going lower before it could be rebounding. So trying to aim around here, 31.2, 31.15 towards 31.1. But just in case, always remember to adjust your stop losses if you are trying to aim for higher price targets. Okay, guys? So let me just put back on seeing back the AUD Japanese yen. Okay, it started to strengthen. Okay, but if you guys are interested to aim for 40 pips, this could be your choices, guys. Okay, Euro CHF, it's still going down, trying to aim a total of 15 pips. Euro CHF and AUD JPY, but I think most of you guys are interested on the gold side. Okay, all right. So just a notifications for you guys that actually before today's live streaming, I've shared a signal on the exclusive channel where I'm sharing a sell US oil around these prices, 68.4. and it has already even reached the second price target. So if you guys do join as an exclusive member, you guys could be getting more exclusive signals out of me and the other traders as well. So you guys could have been trading before and after the live streaming, rather than just trading on this constrained timing, because sometimes trading signals couldn't appear every single minute or every single time during the live stream. So if you guys do join as an exclusive member, you could be getting exclusive signals that will be giving you real-time entry points, unlike the ones that we are seeing from the live stream. It could be good, but it will be much better to get a more exclusive signal at almost every day outside the live streaming hours, guys. Okay, so right now we are still seeing that US oil could be going lower, so my view is still very clear, similar to the ones that I'm sharing on the exclusive signal. If you guys want to do a short, you guys can try to aim around these prices. Okay, you guys can still do that short, put your stop losses just above that high, 68.55, and then try to aim a target of around 67. Okay, so that would give you a risk reward ratio of 2. Okay, that could be one of the good trades that could be coming out outside of gold and silver for tonight. Alright, guys, so I'll be back with the lessons first, guys. Alright, guys, we have a news coming out of the Japan side, and that's why we are seeing some momentum side on those trading pairs. So why don't we look at it later? Why don't we look at it for now? Okay, guys, so let me check back the discussions. I will try to see whether any of you guys do follow us right now. Okay, so it seems that no one is asking me anything from the chat room. So if you guys want to ask me anything for live discussions, for any live updates, you can directly click on that link and join the chat room for live interactions with me through that chat. Okay, guys, because right now I am not seeing any of your comments on the chat room on the website. Okay. Alright, so why I'm discussing the fundamentals. So if you guys are new, it's like if you're trying to buy a phone, you need to research what is the phone, how much is the price, how well does it provide you the benefit, what is the pros, what is the cons, and then you can decide to buy a phone. So it's the same thing if you're trading a trading pair, and if I believe that most of you guys do trade on a huge amount, it's very important that you guys need to understand the fundamentals behind every single of your trades for you guys to have that confidence to keep holding on those trades before making the decisions to buy or sell. So that's why it's much better if you do understand what is going on behind the scenes and then put it on actions on your trading. So let us begin with the Japanese yen sites for tonight. As we can see right now, the Japanese industrial output productions were down due to the decline of the car maker side as well as the chemical goods producer, and that output productions fell by 5% from a year ago. So that's a huge sign, and it's very clear that the Japanese economy could be losing momentum in the third quarter, and worrying sign for Japan's new prime minister, as we can see that the decline on those output is due to the slowness of the growth export, where we are seeing that car shipments are declined, missing consensus estimates as exports are struggling to grow as due to the scandal of the certifications hitting the automobile sector. As a result, we are currently seeing that production is weak, indicating that the economy may be losing some momentum in a negative news for the nation's new premier after last week winning the ruling Liberal Democratic Party's leadership. Alright, so if you guys look at this chart, we are seeing that the Japan economy is just bouncing up and down in terms of the industrial productions, showing that the economy is not stabilizing yet. We are seeing that it could be bouncing up and then it could be going down in the next few months. Okay, right now we are not seeing any clear signs of the Japanese factory output, which could be one of the leading indicators in terms of how well the economy is doing, and right now we are not seeing any clear signs due to that scandal on the automobile side, and also it could be also signaling the weakening side of the manufacturing of the Japan economy. However, we have also one news coming out other than that in Japan's industrial output. We have Japan's retail sales on a year-to-year basis were up by 2.8% from 2.6%. Meanwhile, if you are looking through a monthly basis, it was up by 0.8% from the previous July plus 0.2%. And most of this data showing that the Japanese retail sales were up, it was due to the rise of sales such as the general merchandises up by 2.1%, apparel fashions were up by 12.2%, food and beverages were up by 2%, that really helped to offset the car sales decline by a total of 3.5%. And we do see that Toyota Motor Corp's sales fell more than 9% in Japan in August as delayed impact of the recent scandals that really forced the number of country's biggest car makers in Japan to suspend productions for some affected models, and that could be giving some kind of a weird scenario happening, because we could be seeing a persistent inflation while economy is not doing very well, because right now we are already seeing that high wage gains, high wage growth on the Japan side could be giving the consumers of Japan more confidence to spend, and a key part of the positive cycle that is needed for sustainable growth. And the new government is expected to compile a stimulus package to help households contend with inflations, everything related from energy to rice prices, and BOJ even upgraded its assessment of consumer spending on September 20 as it kept the benchmark interest rate unchanged. Okay, so this graph could be showing you guys what is happening on the Japan's retail side. It was actually declining, sadly guys, on a month-to-month basis, it was still up by 0.8%. And from a yearly to yearly basis, okay, so this data were actually year-on-year basis. So this data shows you the sales value, and the one below shows you the retail sales side. Okay, this is the data that we will be looking at. Retail sales, not the wholesale side. And we are actually seeing that it was up by a total around 2.8%, guys. Okay, so the retail sales sites on Japan still doing fine, but we are seeing that on the production side it has been slowing down. So what is going on? And as a result, we are seeing that the yen remain in a choppy trading, with Japan's currency drop as much as 0.5% to 142.95 yen per dollar in the early morning trading in Tokyo, and then swinging back even lower to 141.65 cents, 141.65 yen per dollar at one point. And this followed its 1.9% surge on Friday in the wake of the LDP victor over the unexpected win against the dovish opponent. And the strengthening of the yen in late trading shows an unwinding of yen selling and dollar buying positions in anticipations of the rival victory. And as a result of all of this data coming up from the retail sales, industrial productions, as well as the LDP victory, traders are looking through the US unemployment data coming out at the end of this week, Friday, to see if it supports the market's view that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates by a total 75 basis points this year. If it doesn't, then the dollar may strengthen against the yen. Okay, so this is showing you guys the shock that has been happening on the Japan's yen against the US dollar, going up and down. So it's a very choppy market trading. So if you guys do trade on it, you guys could have been facing some volatility. If you guys are shorting it, you could be triggered your stop losses around these prices, guys. These prices you could get triggered, this and this. So a lot of choppy trading, but the trend is still very much clear. It still shows that the Japanese yen is continuing to strengthen along the way. Okay, so what can we use out of this data? Okay, so let us view back on the charts to see what has been going on the charts. Okay, it seems that our trade has gone higher, so it was reverse of our trades, but it hasn't even reached our stop losses yet. It is near, it could be reaching our stop losses soon. So before that, it didn't manage to reach its price target. Unfortunately, it's just a shy of $1 before reaching our price target. 2646 the lowest, not 2645. Okay, I believe that could be the same case on the silver side. It could be almost reaching our stop losses, but it hasn't reached those price target yet and return to our entry prices. So let us let the trade work on its own, and then we'll be checking on it later on. Okay, so US dollar, Japanese yen. What has happened since then? We could be seeing that the Japanese yen is weakening. I mean, the Japanese yen gaining momentum, gaining some strength, and even the dollar is weakened against the Japanese yen. I do believe that most of the currency pairs that is against the Japanese yen are also weakening, because we are seeing the strength coming out from the Japanese yen side out of those data. Especially, we do know that the yen carry trade could still be continuing, meaning there could be some good momentum on these trades. Okay, so I could even be suggesting another short, just a short term momentum. So you could be selling USD Japanese yen, try to aim around here. So you guys could be selling USD Japanese yen, try to put stop loss just above this candle hour around 143.8, and try to aim for around 143. that could be one of the good trades, but let us see, guys, because I've been giving up too much, so it seems that it's much better to wait and see how our signals are working, because too much of signal sometimes could be giving you a lot of contradictions. Okay, but the overall view is still very much clear, guys, on the US dollar, Japanese yen, or even any other currency pairs that is against the Japanese yen. Or not, on the long-term basis, we are seeing that downtrend happening in a fast momentum, and right now it's slowing, but the trend is still very clear. We are still seeing that downtrend occurring on the Japanese yen side, not only just on the US dollar, Japanese yen, it's also on the Euro, Japanese yen. It's going down lower and lower. Even I draw out the outlook, the path of that downfall. Sometimes I'm missing a few days, but the overall trend I'm seeing is still pretty much the same. Nothing has changed much. It's just bouncing up higher and lower and higher and lower according to that downtrend line, and a lot of volatility could happen because a lot of things are going on through the central banks around the world. So that's why we are seeing a really volatile market movement alongside this sideways area. So just for you guys to have a much clearer view, and it still shows the same result. It's still going on that downtrend, unable to break higher than the high resistance after the Japanese yen weakened, and right now the Japanese yen gained its strength. Right now we are already seeing that downtrend momentum continuing across almost all single pairs. So you guys can see even the Australian dollar side is even going lower, and the Japanese yen could also be going lower as well. And what else? CHF Japanese yen also could be going lower, guys. So it's very much clear, and even I draw the outcome how it could be going later on, and I'm also showing you guys that this uptrend could be continuing. It could be facing these sideways trends. So I'm expecting that all Japanese yen pairs could be weakening, and we are started to see that the Japanese yen could be continuing its downtrend once again. Okay. All right. So let us view back on the gold side, and actually one point of that trade is important, because with the strengthening of the Japanese yen, the Nikkei stock market could be affected, guys. So there's a possibility of the weakening of the Japan stock market, as I've promised you guys yesterday, because with the strengthening of the yen, it could be weakening the stock market, and right now we are seeing the possibility of this chart pattern forming on the Nikkei stock market and on the Japan stock market, and we are currently seeing that it was trying to form its head faces of the inverted head and shoulder on the right hand side of the chart, but it's still a long chart to trade on it. So we will be so there's a huge possibility that it needs some time before it could really form its right hand side of the shoulder, before it could continue that downtrend momentum on the Japan stock market. It could be probably after the Japanese yen strengthening below 140 yen per dollar, and that time we could be seeing the possibility of the downtrend momentum happening on the Japan stock market, guys. Okay, but before that happens, we will be just waiting for it. Pay attention, see what updates and any breakthrough that is going on the Japan stock market, as well as the strengthening of the Japanese yen. Okay, so we'll be trying to look on it later on. Okay, so with just that one event happening on the Japan side, we could be getting some insights on what to trade and see what kind of trading pairs that we could be trading. All pairs of Japanese yen we could be trading. We could also be trading on the Japan stock market. So that's why it's very important for you guys to understand the basics of those events and what can we use on the trading. So you don't need to be an economist, but you just need to know some of the facts and what can we do out of those facts and events. Okay. All right. So let us check back on the gold side. See how the trading pairs have been working on its own. Alright, so it seems my short-term momentum trading has failed, guys. Almost failed, reaching the stop losses already, guys. So I believe that this signal has been triggered, the stop losses, guys, unfortunately. But one thing is for sure, guys. As I've said, it will be just a short term and expecting there could be some corrections. I'm just not expecting it would be so fast and just a short corrections before even going higher. So I could be switching my view if it managed to even break higher than 2,654 for a buy signal. That could be reaching around 2,670. Okay, I'm expecting it could reach around 2,670 if it managed to break out higher than 2,653 towards 2,654. Alright guys, this signal trading has failed. I'll be putting triggered stop loss. So I believe that that could be the same case on the silver side, but on the silver side we are not seeing it reach the stop losses yet. So my suggestions for you guys, I believe that if the gold could be going higher, I will be readjusting the stop losses, and it's much better to trigger the stop losses faster, guys. Okay, because I'm expecting this trade just for a short term time, so I will be cutting the stop losses around here. Early stop losses to protect all of your capital, guys, because I'm not seeing the possibility of it going weaker for now, because I'm seeing it rebound of this area. I'm expecting it could be declining lower around here before rebounding higher, but it didn't happen. So I will be readjusting the stop losses. So if you guys do follow and stay tuned with the live streaming, I will be giving more updates on those signals, and probably I will be giving you guys an early stop losses like this case. Okay, because I'm not seeing the possibility of it weakening at the current price momentum, as you guys could see. So it's much better to wait for now. Okay, so put the early stop losses, protect your capital, and we could be trading on the other trading side. Okay, so let us check back on the Euro CHF. Okay, it seems that even the currency pairs has also even started to hit our stop losses as well, and I believe that the trade on the AUD Japanese yen could also be doing the same. Okay, so it seems that most of the trading pairs are really volatile for these days, and so that's why I always suggest that you guys open positions conservatively, not too aggressive, in order to protect your capital if you make the wrong trade. So I'll be giving out another buy signal for tonight. If it break through this, what you guys could do, $2654, $2655. Put your stop losses just below 2645, and okay, this target price could work, guys. Let us try to aim just a little closer. Okay, so as usual, guys, because this signal hasn't been executed yet, so let me just readjust the writings. Okay, so just in the case that it break out higher than 2654, then you can enter this trade. Otherwise, I will be suggesting you guys to wait to get that confirmations of that continuing that uptrend. Okay, because I'm not seeing it right now, so it's much better for you guys to enter at around these prices. So you guys could be putting those buy stops, and we'll be later seeing on these trades later on. Okay, I believe that will be the same case on the silver side. Could be going higher, but I'm much more confident on the trades on the gold side. It could be breaking the resistance faster and reaching our entry prices later. Okay. All right. So there you go. So for now, I'll be recommending that you guys wait before these entry prices appear. Or you guys could be putting the buy stop at around 2,654. So if it gets executed, then the trade could be running on its own, because I'm waiting for the confirmations if it goes higher than 2,653. So which means I'm waiting for this confirmation, guys. Okay. Otherwise, I won't be executing this trade. Alright, so I will be back with the New Zealand dollar side and what has been going on that side. So from this data, it's very clear that the business outlook is very much optimistic. Even we can see on the own activity and the business outlook were much better. And these readings are the highest levels since April 2014 as the prospect of further interest rate cuts in the New Zealand side. Even that survey showed inflation expectations were steady at around 2.9% after falling below 3% in August for the very first time since mid-2021, with cost expectations decline. And even we are already knowing that New Zealand are facing its third recession in just less than 2 years. Most local economies are still projecting a third quarter contractions, meaning that a lot of things has already been priced in on the New Zealand dollar side. So as you guys can see, that New Zealand become more confident for the very first time, even reaching higher than the 2014 levels around here, as you guys could have seen. It breaking higher than that, and it was around at 60 optimistic level, as you guys could see from here. So it's pretty much a very good indications out of the New Zealand economy. But still, pricing intentions increase for third month, with a 43% of the firm intend to increase prices, and the average amount of companies expect to raise prices also increase. And we do know that the Reserve Bank on New Zealand cut the official cash rate on August 14, much earlier than it has expected, and it could be expecting to ease policy at a measured pace. And investors are betting on the Reserve Bank of New Zealand to adopt a more aggressive stance either at next week's rate decisions or the final meeting of the year in November. So with that in mind, there could be the possibility of the weakening on the New Zealand dollar side, because we do know that a lot of people are expecting the New Zealand economy is not doing well, but surprisingly guys, after the Chinese government put out the stimulus, we are seeing that strength coming up from the New Zealand dollar for a couple of days, as you guys could have seen. And we can see that New Zealand dollar even managed to go higher and higher, as you guys can see on this chart. Even people are optimistic, but the charts shows that all of that has been priced in. As you guys can see, it managed to break out higher than that resistance area, and right now it's already reaching, I would dare to say it was around a 10-month high for 8 to 9 month high for the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. But one thing is for sure guys, right now we do know that the New Zealand economy is not doing very well, and almost all of that is, I believe, has been priced in, and that's why we are seeing that it even managed to go higher, because we do know that the expectations of the US Fed rate could be lowering the US dollar. Meanwhile, we do know that the New Zealand dollar economy is not doing very well, but New Zealand dollar has been weakening for over the past 2 to 3 years compared to the strengthening on the US dollar side. So that's why we are started to see some possibility of the bullishness on the New Zealand dollar side, even though we do know that both central banks will be cutting their interest rates. So what can we do out of those news? So first of all, we are still seeing that it is still in a very good uptrend, guys, so you shouldn't forget that. Even though we could be very bearish on the New Zealand economy, but we also know that the New Zealand dollar has been weakening over the past 2 to 3 years against the US dollar, and it could be the time for it to break higher prices, reaching new highs and going further than that, because right now we are seeing it already broke down of that downtrend over the past 2 to 3 years and started to break higher, breaking out of those downtrend line, and right now it has been trying to find that momentum going higher. But right now we are facing some resistance, that's one thing for sure. So I'm expecting it will be just trading around here before we are getting that confirmations to break higher, because I believe all of that news events on the New Zealand economy has been priced in, and people are expecting a further rate cuts on the US dollar compared against the New Zealand, because they are much more adamant to reduce rates faster than the Fed rates. So I'm expecting that the New Zealand dollar could be strengthening against the dollar. As you guys could see on the price charts here, it's very clear the price actions are showing that it's going through, breaking out of the resistance and trying to build on that uptrend since the July 2024, and I'm expecting it could be continuing that trend, guys. Okay. All right, let's check back on the gold side, guys. All right, it seems that our buy signal has been triggered. Okay, it seems that everything is going on the right directions, and let us just let the trade move on its own. It has already been triggered, guys. The gold prices. Let us check back on the silver. It hasn't been moving a lot, so it is as expected, guys. So I'm much more bullish on the gold side rather than the silver side. So if you guys are following the live stream, I have recommended to do another buy signals, because we have started to see that short-term trading doesn't work, so we will be continuing that long-term signal of buying gold. Okay, guys. But there could be some possibilities reaching the resistance and then going lower, so we'll be seeing it, but I'm expecting there could be some huge resistance and breaking out, reaching 2670 after we can see that strength on the gold side. Okay. All right, so I'll be back with the lessons first, because I'm left with another 15 minutes, so I'll be discussing on the euro side as well, on the US economy, comments out of the Fed chair. So overall, we can see from this data that we have updates on the Italian side, which is also the fourth biggest economy in, I believe that Italian was the third biggest economy out of euro area. So I believe that this is an important data for the European Central Bank to see. So as you guys could see from this slide, it's very much clear that the inflations were down from 1.2% to 0.8%, and on a year-to-year basis it was also going down, but on a monthly to monthly basis it was going up. And the headline inflations out of the Italian government is also showing that confirmations on a year-to-year basis was also down, and the decline in inflation is due to the energy prices going down and contributing to that disinflationary trend. And prices for other stuff such as recreational, cultural services are also showing some declines from transport, offsetting the rising food prices. But overall, we are seeing that it was due to the lower energy prices that really helped to decline the inflation sides on the European side. Okay, as you guys can see from this chart, it has been showing you guys that very clear trend. Going lower for each of these biggest Eurozone economy. Okay, right now we will be talking on the Germany side. As you guys can see, that these numbers out of the Germany economy on the inflation side has been easing below the 2% ECB target for the very first time since February 2021, with it slowing down towards 1.8% in line with estimates. And from the Germany government also showing that headline inflation is at around 1.6% on a year-to-year basis, down from 1.9%, and it was the lowest level since January 2021, with the monthly inflation remain flat. And this data confirmed the trend seen in regional German counties, though those results also contain evidence of sticky underlying price pressure that could yet make more hawkish policymakers cautious about quicker loosening monetary policy. As you guys can see, this is data coming out of each of the Germany regions. Overall, we are still seeing that very much clear trend. It's still going lower and lower. Probably we could be paying attention towards Saxony, where the inflation was still above 2%, but other than Saxony, we are already seeing that inflations were down less than 2%. So why is that the case? So that decline on the inflations on Germany side is very much due to energy and some good cost. Even German services inflations were down from 3.9% towards 3.8%. And this drop in headline inflations were due to the lower prices of gasoline. Some were lower than 15%. Even electricity prices were down by 25%. Even though we are seeing leisure costs drop, prices for education, communications, and even services fell in September compared with August. So almost every category in the price baskets are going down. And forward-looking indicators suggest that inflation could remain relatively stable in the upcoming months, with a slight uptick in headline inflations towards the end of the year. And there's one new update coming out from the Germany's government. They are expecting to cut its predictions for their economy and no expansions at all for this year, because there is an economic crisis reducing the scope for companies to raise their prices, that the inflation rate at Germany in the coming months, and most likely it will be just remaining at around 2% inflation target, because even companies even not dare to increase their goods and services prices in Germany because they are facing some economic crisis. Even the government already erased their expectations of their GDP growth this year. And as a result of this data, we believe that the president of ECB comments to lawmakers in the European Parliament in Brussels on Monday gives the strongest hint from her of a possible momentum gathering among officials toward a cut. So this is the details and the summary out of the president of the ECB, saying that inflation may temporarily increase in the fourth quarter, but as we are seeing sharp falls in energy prices, but the latest development are seeing that confidence are growing for inflation to going back to the target of 2% on 2025 towards 2026, and they are taking account all of these numbers of the newest data out of the Italy CPI, the Germany CPI, on the next policy meeting in less than 3 weeks, because this inflation has been accelerating over the last 2 months. Looking ahead, there will be some levels of survey indicators suggesting that recovery is facing headwinds, and we ECB expect the recovery to strengthen over time, as rising real incomes should allow households to consume more. Because when looking at the core inflations, they are also seeing very optimistic signs that this could continue, as they are seeing service inflation started to slow, and gradually we are seeing that directions to reduce inflation. So as you guys can see, even the money market bets are even trying to see even bigger rate cuts, from a total of 160 basis points, an additional of 20 basis points towards 180 basis points. So with this data release from Monday, a lot of people are expecting the ECB could be cutting rates. So what could be happening on that side, guys? Okay, so right now we are seeing that the euro currency is weakening, guys. As you guys could see, it has been weakening and weakening, and right now it has even already reached our first price target on this signal. So after the signals that I've been sharing, writing on it, finally we have one hitting the profit target. Okay, so as you guys could see, that a lot of people are expecting lower inflations, and that really helped to boost the optimisms on the ECB side for them to cut another interest rates in the next meeting in less than 3 weeks. And we are seeing the possibility of it cutting interest rates bigger than 25 basis points, or even continuing that 25 basis point in the next 3 meetings left in this year. So that's why we are seeing weakening on the euro currency, and I'm expecting that it could be weakening across the euro currency. As you guys could see, it has not yet reached its stop losses, but these weaknesses could be continuing against almost all currency. Euro CAD also going down lower and lower. So Euro Japanese yen could be one of the case, but we are still seeing that Japanese yen haven't been able to deliver that strength compared against the Euro USD and the Euro CHF. Okay, so the most optimistic signs are coming out from the Euro USD, because we are seeing that the Euro is weakening against the US dollar, and it even helped us to reach our first price target on this signal. Okay guys, so that's one of the good things if you're understanding the events and what could you use on that trading side. Okay guys, so I will be back with the gold charts. It seems that it has already broken out of that resistance, of that downtrend, and it seems that it will sustain that uptrend momentum after having some sideways for a couple of hours, and right now we are seeing that strength continuing. Okay guys, okay, so I will be continuing back with the lessons. Right now we will be having the last 2 topics out of the UK as well as the US side. Okay, so bear with me over the last 5 minutes, and I'll be explaining what happened on both UK and the US economy updates. So we are currently seeing that the UK economy is revised, slowly growing from 0.6 to now 0.5%. So what is the case on that side? So it seems that economists has expected no revision, but that is not the case, because output flatlined in July for the 3rd time in 4 months, and confidence is weakening amid fears that England Chancellor will announce tax rises and spending cuts in her budget on October 30 to fill that black hole left by the Conservatives. And recent surveys point to the economy slowing to growth around 0.3% a quarter. As you guys can see, that the economic growth on the UK side has been not very well, as you guys could have seen from this side. This green color, it has started to slow down the growth. And if you compare against the US side, Canada, even Italy, or even France and Japan, all of these economies growing faster than UK, because we are already seeing that the UK facing some recessions in the early 2021 towards the end of 2022. So that's what really helped to lower down the economic forecast on the UK side. And out of that, we are still seeing right now the real GDP even growing just by 0.3%, and we are seeing the second half of the year could be in a shallow recession, because a 0.6 jump in output of the service sectors drove the growth in second quarter, offsetting the productions and construction side of the UK, because we are still seeing business investment jump by 1.4%, up from the previous revise of a 0.1% fall, as spending on transport equipment and intellectual property climb. However, we are seeing growth in household consumption was unrevised at 0.2%, and the increase in government spending was downgraded. And the official national statistic has said that the saving ratio, the amount of disposable income people choose not spend, rose to 10%, the highest since 2021. Even we are seeing real disposable income per head rising 1% over the quarter, we are still seeing wages still outstripping inflation. And as a result of this data, it still shows that UK citizens are unwilling to spend their money that they receive out of their salary, and there could be a problem with the economy where the citizens are unwilling to spend money on purchase big ticket items or purchase more goods when they have been receiving a higher wage growth compared against the inflations. And as a result of this data release, the pound still managed to hold a 0.1% gain against the dollar. As you guys can see, that UK consumers even save more and spend less than the US peers. As you guys can see, the difference is almost around 12%. So the US economy is still doing very well, because we are seeing that the US side has been spending much more compared to the UK. So that's why we are seeing that the US economy is still doing very much well compared to the UK side. And one of 4 external members has been saying that a robust consumer could be the trigger to help to grow the economy, even though they might start feeling that they have pricing power once again, but passing through higher costs to end users in higher prices could be the case, because sticky service prices inflations, which are still at around 5.6%, still above the 2% BOE's target, was worrisome, but overall signs are good. We are still moving in the right directions out of these 4 external members of the BOE. The question is how quickly we are moving there. Headline inflations are down to 2.2%, but the decline has been driven by a steep temporary fall in energy prices, showing that almost all countries are going lower for the inflation side due to lower energy prices. And this is the part of her comments, saying that the neutral rate of interest rate could be around 3.5%, which will not be stimulating the growth and not restricting the economic growth, because as I've said, US savings have been a drag on the UK economy, because US have been spending more and saving less, and a result of those, we are seeing that UK retail sales were still going faster. In a sign that households are more willing to spend, we are seeing real wages appearing for the very first time in more than 2 years, and this member is one of the more hawkish members of the policy side, when they were cut to 5%, and she were voting in the hold rates, because last week she had said that they would be preferring a cautious steady as she goes before approaching the monetary easing, pointing out that strong wage growth and elevated service prices remain a big concerns on the UK inflation. Okay, so with that, we do know that it could be gaining some strength on that side, and we could be probably seeing that the GBP could be continuing that uptrend momentum after reaching down this support area. But right now we are seeing the possibility of the strengthening of the US dollar, I believe, so that's why we are seeing the weakening. So I believe that there could be some volatility along the ways, so it could be bouncing up and down before getting that clear signal of going higher later on. Okay, So I will be discussing one of the last topics for tonight before ending today's live streaming. Okay, so we have a data coming out from the Federal Reserve right now, saying in a speech that the central bank will lower interest rates over time, and emphasizing that the overall US economy remains on a good footing, and reiterated his confidence that inflation will continue moving towards the Fed's 2% target, setting the economic conditions for a further easing of price pressures. So this is part of his comments. Looking forward, if the economy evolves as expected, policy will move over time toward a more neutral stance. But we are not on any preset course, noting that policymakers will continue making decisions meeting by the economic data. And this is not a commodity that is feel in a hurry to cut rates quickly. And if the economy grows slower than expected, then they can cut faster. And if it slows less, they could cut slower. And they do not believe to see further cooling in labor market conditions to achieve 2% inflation, because this inflation has been broad-based, and the most recent data indicate that it will be returning towards the 2% inflation target rate. And our goal all along has been to restore price stability without the rise in unemployment, has frequently accompanied efforts to bring down high inflation. While the task is not yet complete, we have made a good deal out of that progress. And at their early meeting, they have decided there's a possibility they will be cutting a 50 basis point additional on the remainder of 2024 and a further percentage point reduction in 2025. However, several officials estimated this cut will be smaller around the year's end. And investors right now are betting the Fed will lower rates by roughly another 75 basis points, implying one more large cut in either November or December. And there is some comments out of Atlanta Federal Reserve President saying a surprise move to the weak side will really help to cut further interest rates by another 50 basis points. But if the labor market comes weaker, they could be cutting the interest rates faster. But if the labor market is still staying strong, they will be patient on their rate cuts. And as a result of these comments out of both presidents and Fed chair, we are seeing that the 2-year note yields are rose by 10 basis points, the highest since September 12, pairing the Treasury market's historic 5th straight monthly gains. And we are having a fresh figures up towards this due on Friday, that they will be seeing an added of estimated of 150 jobs this September, consistent with a moderating labor, with the forecasted of unemployment rate at around 4.2%. So a data release on this Friday non-farm payrolls, if it's worse than expectations, that could really hurt the chances of a bigger basis point. So that means that if the non-farm payrolls are higher than expected, there could be an expectations of a further 50 basis point cut. If not, it will be just cutting rates at 25 basis point. As you guys could see from these charts, for straight 5 months have been in a gain of a total of around 7%. So that means for bond traders have been gaining a lot of gains out of the bond trading site. Okay, so I'll be ending today's live streaming sessions, but before that, I believe that I have discussed most of the topics for tonight. On the Japanese yen side, euro currency, the US dollar, gold, silver, and the oil side. Okay, so as usual, you guys, if you're trading on your own, it's very important for you guys to look out for this key setup with your entry prices, your stop losses, your position sizing. Make sure that you don't overexpose yourself, and always remember to put on your trading profit taker or your stop losses if you decided to have a long-term view of your trade. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, so let me check back on the website to see whether any of you do join the chat room and ask me anything. But it seems that there is not one visitor asking from that website, so I couldn't be seeing your comments and your inquiries. So if you guys want to get more real-time interactions with me, you guys need to follow that website. Join that website and you can talk with me instantly. But if you guys are interested to get much more exclusive signal out of us, there will be signals out of the other traders as well. You can register yourself as a member and you can get access to our exclusive trading plans before and after the live streaming sessions. Alright guys, so it will be my time to end today's live streaming, but I will be giving you guys that small updates to see what happened on the gold side and the oil side. Alright, it seems that these price actions could have been triggered, guys. So alright, it seems that the oil market hasn't been moving much, but it was in a floating profit of 20 cents, which is a good thing. So if you guys have been paying attention towards the live stream, that's possibly right now you are in a floating profit on the oil side. Let us check back also on the US dollar CHF. I think I'm not recommending US dollar CHF, Euro CHF. Okay, it's still in line. Nothing has changed much, so we'll be looking at it later on. Okay, on the gold side, nothing has changed much, so this signal could be still running on its own. So you guys could be running this signal and put the stop losses around 2645 to make sure that this uptrend signal could reach those price target without getting triggered the stop losses due to the volatility. Okay guys, so I'll be ending today's live streaming. If you guys want to join us and get daily updates on us, make sure that you guys register as a member. But if you guys want to view more of us, you can watch us daily on these live streaming sessions from 12 p.m. London time or 7 p.m. Singaporean time. And I'll be ending today's live streaming. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hello everyone. So let's begin today's live sessions. So let's talk about what is really going on. Okay. So going back, we already mentioned that the dollar index is likely to go higher. So as we already mentioned that the dollar index has been swiping off, it's likely to go back to the higher place, reaching through this fair value gap manipulations, displacement, rebalancing out So you can see that once the price has been reaching through this 1 hour time frame liquidity area, so where do we expecting that the price go to? The price will be going back to the internal range. Where is the internal range that true? Will be on the 5 minutes. So you can see that this is a fair value gap going on, reaching, and the price is going high. So we already mentioned that the price is likely to go higher and this liquidity area. But the really cute thing is that we can see that the gold market is also going higher. If you still remember what I've been saying yesterday, I'm saying that gold market is likely to go higher. Monday going lower is likely is a rebalancing phase, and I'll be recapping what I've been talking about. And we already mentioned that every time frame have their own candlesticks. For example, monthly it have their own candlesticks, 4 hour have their own candlesticks. So monthly candlesticks, or maybe every candlesticks will be forming something like this. This is the uh I mean opening price, and this is the closing price. And then you can see that once the price has been closing price going back, and then the price has been reaching to this closing the closing price. So this is the total. What does the candlestick move? Okay, starting point is this manipulations. So this is the starting point, opening price. So you can see that this is the opening price going lower. Everyone will be thinking to do shorts, breaking structure, going lower, but this is the manipulations. Once the price has been breaking through, rebounds, and the price is going back to the distributions. So as we already mentioned, this is the area that we are expectations to going back to the rebalancing phase. So you can see this is rebalancing, and we already mentioned that it's likely to see the price is going higher. I was expecting that the price is going up. I mean, a rebalancing and reaching through this level. If you still remember, grabbing this liquidations, and then afterwards the price is going on the lower sides, so on the higher sides, but you can see that the price didn't really push on pass through this level, and then in fact, in the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the price has been grabbing this liquidations, and then the price has been continue going higher, grabbing this, rebalancing out, and then the price is going higher. Right now, what we can see is that the price has been going through this manipulations. Okay, so this is the manipulations, and right now we are likely to see the price will be continue going higher. Why? Because we can see that this is the manipulations and reflecting maybe around this area. So you can see that the price is reflecting on this supporting area. So you can see that this is the supporting area that the price has been reaching through, going back. I was expecting that the price will be going back, but unfortunately, the price do really going back on the 4 hour fair value gap. So once the 4 hour fair value gap has been formed, we'll be using 50 minutes. So you can see that this is the manipulations. Once the price has been breaking through this, we are actually going back, doing long, and continue going higher. Okay, but using 4 hour time frame, we can see that the price do really break through this one, okay, this level, okay, this level. So once the price do really break through this level, what we can expect? We can expecting that the price is definitely changing directions and continue going higher. Okay, so right now our bias of the day is going higher. So we are likely to continue doing long. So as we already mentioned, if you're trading ICT, SMC, or anything indicator or anything else, okay, the most important thing is to determine what's your bias. So as I already mentioned, bias is determine what is your directions. Okay, so do you think that this week the gold market is going higher or going lower? So if you are thinking that the gold market is going higher, usually the starting point of the week will be dropping down, and then after that the price has been will be continue on going higher. So usually we need to see the price to reaching through certain return first and then going higher. So as we already mentioned that this week we are likely to see the price is continue going higher. So this is the bottom line, reaching through this certain liquidity area, maybe for our level, this liquidity area. So you can see that this is the 4 hour swing point. Okay, so where do we expecting that? We'll be going back to the internal sites. So where is it going on? Um, if I really wanted to trade on, I'll be probably will be using this as my reference. 50% dropping back below. If the price do really drop back to the 50% is the best way to do long, but I'm not so sure is it possible that the price will be going back to that much. So if that really happens, I probably will be doing long in this area. So you can see that this is the fair value gap, and going back from the 1 hour time frame, I will be probably just try to looking through this area. So you can see that this is the 4 hour fair value gap area, and also not so sure is it the 50%, and not really true on the 50%, but I will be probably will be looking through this supporting area. So let's see how it happens. Okay, so right now, it maybe shows some signs that the price is going lower. So if we want to do shorts, as I already mentioned, we need to have confirmations. So we need to see the price to close below and this reflecting on the fair value gaps and also the order block. So for example, we need to see a strong impulse going lower, breaking through disrespecting this fair value gap. Okay, disrespecting on this fair weather gap here. Okay, here. Okay, disrespecting on this fair weather gap, disrespecting on this order block, and the price will be going on the lower sides. If that really happens, we are likely to see the price to go lower. But right now, thinking that it's likely to continue going higher right now because the price do really respecting on this fair value gap. So I will be continue monitor and see how it goes on. Okay. Overall, the directions of the week, it's likely to go higher. So we are probably just waiting for the price to reaching through this internal range. Once the internal range will be reached, our expectation is that the price will be going back to this swing point. Okay, so the price will be going back to this swing point. So there's a lot of entry that opportunity that you can try to do on. So probably we'll be trying to wait for the price to reach through certain area. Then we are probably will be reaching through 200 points. Okay, so we'll be waiting on 10 p.m. So I already mentioned that 10 p.m. it's really important. Okay, okay. As I already mentioned that what As I already mentioned that Tuesday is really important, I will be thinking that Tuesday might be forming the lowest of the week or maybe certain level drawing back on the manipulation phase. You need to know that usually data will be giving some kind of manipulations. So for example, later on 10 p.m., the GOLTS data will be coming out. So once the GOLTS data has been coming out, it's likely to go on a manipulation phase, meaning by that is the is swiping and lows. Okay, we'll be definitely swiping highs and lows. So if your direction is going on the long sides, we are probably will be long long sides. We are probably will be waiting for the price to manipulations on the downsides. Once the manipulations has been formed, then we are likely to see the price to continue going higher. So I'm thinking that later on the data is really, really important. might be giving us some kind of entry later on. So later on in 10 p.m. we'll be doing trades together and see how does the market going on. Okay, so this is my thoughts of the gold market. If you have any questions, please do leave on the questions below. So I'll be seeing some of the questions on the comment sections right now. So good evening, everyone. What do you think the current gold price will it continue to rise? Yes, it is. Gold price is to continue going higher. The short positions in crude oil is really strong. As I already mentioned last week, is that the crude oil will be continue going lower. I just don't know where crude oil will be can fall. The fact that is so sharply may be related increasing productions due to the relationship between supply and demand plus increasing productions. I think crude oil may be falling deeper. Silver move very slowly. I can't see what it wants to do. Okay, so overall, I'm thinking that this week we are definitely will be facing a really huge volatility. Okay, from the data we have been collected per week, usually will be giving us some kind of $50 range. So for example, from here to here is already 41. Okay, you need to know that this is already 41. So we are likely to see from here to here, it's going back to the 50 range. So our expectation is that the price will be at least reaching to this high if you are thinking to do long. Okay, so you can see that this is our expectations. Every NFP week will be giving gold market at least $50 range. If you don't believe, let's go back to the data. So this is the fourth week, third week, second week, and first week. Okay, so from this, you can see that the price has been reaching through $50 range from here to here. So you can see $50 range. Okay, so going back fourth, third, second, and first. Going back, you can see that usually NFP week will be giving us what? $50 range or even much more higher. Okay, you can see that 94 for the second and first. So you can see it's exactly the same 50 or 70. Okay, NFP week usually will be giving the gold market a high volatility. Usually will be giving out 50 above at least. Okay, at least we'll be giving 50 above. So you won't be worried that is it possible that price of gold market won't be going that much higher. I'm thinking that it's possible the price do really reach back to this 50 range. Afterwards might be going back towards a ranging area, not so sure, but right now we are definitely looking on long sides. Okay, so as we already mentioned, right now the price do really reflecting on this 4 hour range. So once the 4 hour range has been formed, okay, 4 hour range has been formed, then we are likely to see the price to rebalancing out. Okay, so we'll be waiting for the price to rebalancing out, and then we'll be doing long positions together. I'm thinking that the market will be waiting on the NFE, I mean the JOLTS data. Once the JOLTS data has been announcing, I'm thinking that it's likely to go back to rebalancing and then continue going higher. Okay, so let's see. Okay, okay, so let's go back to our PPT today. So today will be also the same. We'll be talking about the same thing as well, reflecting on what is going on and what we are expectations on. Okay. So overall, what is happening in the data? Yesterday, as we already mentioned, is not really important because this is the last day of September. So last day of September usually will be rebalancing out. So for example, the gold has been rising and rising a lot. So last day of the month usually will be rebalancing out some of the positions. So you can see that the price of gold market has been dropping down. Okay, so besides of that, if you really want to go through the data, the most important or one of the important data is the Chicago Manager Index. So what does it mean by that? Chicago is one of the states. So Purchasing Manager Index is one of the data that will be concluding surveying on the manufacturer or service industries, asking the manager about how does the industry is going on, and is it great or is it good, or how's the sales and so on. So it's really important. So the key indicator of economic health of the manufacturing sector in the Chicago regions, as we already mentioned. So the actual PMI figures has been coming in at 46.6, marking a slightly increasing from the previous and forecasting readings. So right now we can see that it's actually increasing on 46.6, higher than expectations. So, but one of the things that we need to be aware of is even though its new figure is 46.6, but still lower than 50 marks. 50 is really a really important mark. So, for example, if the data is continue remaining lower, 46, lower than 50, it's not really seems like a strong data, to be honest. I can see that this data is reflecting on changing to not not good to okay, that kind of situations, not good and changing to good, or maybe changing really good or something like that. So it's so what we can say that. Okay, so this indicating a marginal improvement in manufacture in sector performance. So one of the biggest thing is that the Chicago PMI is often used as a parameter to forecast the ISM manufacturer PMI. So even though that it's lower than 50, but this higher than expectations, meaning that it's probably will be affecting on later on the ISM manufacturer PMI. So the manufacturer PMI might be higher than expectations, and this will be likely to forming some kind of support from the dollar index. So this is one of the reasons why that the dollar index has been forming a rebounding. But I'm thinking that major reasons is that the dollar index going higher is because of rebalancing out. So from September we can see that dollar index has been dropping a lot, everyone. The dollar index has been dropping a lot. Going back from the charts, we can see that dollar index has been dropping a lot. So like a lot. Going back, you can see that this is the first week, fourth, second, third, but I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. You can see that the going past of the few past, not past month, okay, past week, or maybe even 3 months, the price has been dropping a lot. So right now is actually a rebalancing out, as we already mentioned. If you still remember, the price has been rebalancing, and what we expecting on, everyone still remember, we mentioned that the price is going back to the internal range. So where is the internal range going on? Will be here, or maybe even higher to here. Okay, so right now dollar index will be going higher,
欧洲出大事了。
and this will be putting some kind of pressure on other pairings. Okay, okay, so this is one of the reasons why that the dollar index going high. We need to know that every move will be consist of rebalancing. So it's not really likely that the market will be going one direction, something like that. If that really happens, usually indicates market manipulations. So if that really happens, this really happens in cryptocurrency, such as some of the new projects happening. So you can see that the price has been skyrocketed. Okay, once the price has been skyrocket, it's usually uh might happen in the cryptocurrency market only. I'm thinking that it's only happens on the cryptocurrency markets. So you can see that the price do skyrocket, but won't be retrenchment, because this is manipulated by the big players, the institutions, the bankers, or even some of the big players. Okay, so once the price has been going through certain area, yeah, targets, okay, then it's swiping off all the retails, because a lot of retails will be doing long here, maybe doing long here, and maybe doing long here, or maybe even doing long here, or maybe even here as well. So the price will be slightly and going higher. So it's not really likely will be happening this kind of situations, for example, going higher and then reaching through a new low. This situation usually will be happening on the cryptocurrency markets, but in the Forex market, it's not really likely. Every up move consists in a liquidity area. So, for example, once the price has been reaching through this liquidity area, okay, the liquidity area has been reached, and then the price will be rebalancing out. So right now, the price do really reach through this uh in a liquidity area from here. So we can expect that the price might be rebalancing out. Okay, might be. Okay, so going back from the PPT, today PPT is not that much because yesterday is not really have a big news, but yesterday we do have one of the major news is that the Federal Reserve Chairman has been speaking on. Okay, so Reserve Chairman, what has he been saying? Okay, so there's a few things that is really important. Okay, one is that the upwards revisions to the saving rates does the same thing, that suggesting spending can continue at a healthy level. So I'm thinking that this is actually reflecting on the data. So you can see that from the US retail sales data has been showing upwards momentum, even though that the unemployment rate has been rising, the inflation rate has been dropping, but we can see that is actually didn't really affecting on the spending power. I don't really know much about it. My predictions and what I have been gathering from the information has been saying that uh, people has been using credit cards to pre-using the credits. So the spending power is actually maintaining on the healthy sides, and especially on the spending goods, the mass spending goods. So you can see that it's actually on a really healthy space. Okay. So next thing is that the labor markets may be giving a better real-time picture, as we already mentioned. GDP doesn't predict downturn as well as labor data. Okay, doesn't predict downturn. As we already mentioned that the Federal Reserve has been changing their focusing from the inflations to the employments, and the employments is a really important factors. In 2021, the market or the Federal Reserve is really focusing on the inflations. Why? We can see that the inflations has been rising. I think the highest is about 9.2 or maybe 9.3, that kind of area. So this is really important. So right now, the inflation rates, I'm not so sure how much is it? I'm not remember. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 point something percent. Okay. So it's not a really important factor, as a Federal Reserve, I mean, the Federal Reserve chairman has been speaking that the inflations will be likely to drop back to 2%. It's just a time it's just a time problem. Okay, so the labor market, it's going through a rough time. We can see that the unemployment rate has been predictions to 3.9%, and right now is adjusting on adjusting on the unemployment rate in 2024 to 4.4%. So this week, the most important data is the employment sites. Okay, even though that the data it's going not that bad. Okay, not that bad. The spending, I mean, the inflations has been dropping. The employment has been dropping as well. But the Fed it's not in a hurry to cut rates quickly. Okay, it will be continue to look through data to data. But I'm thinking that it's likely to drop another 25 basis point or maybe 50 basis point in the next meeting. Okay, so if the economy evolves, okay, this is really important. If the economy evolves as expected, would mean that two more cuts this year will be for a total of 50 basis points. So this is a really important factors. Okay, a lot of people thinking that November will be dropping rates 50 percentage point. But once this has been announcing, we can see that a raising 25 basis point has been rising back comparing from yesterday. Okay, if you still remember yesterday, the raising 25 basis point is about 58%. Right now is 60.2%. So right now we can see that it's giving a lot of momentum from the dollar index, even though that in the longer time frame, dollar index will be forming on a downtrend, but this data will be giving some kind of support and retrench. I mean, giving some kind of support from the dollar index to retrench, and it's likely to go back on the downtrend in October. Okay, so Fed did the right thing by holding the rates high as long as it did and wanted to be confident that the inflations would be falling. Okay, so a lot of people has been saying that because of Federal Reserve holding rates much more longer than expectations, a lot of people has speculate would be dropping rates on August, September, or maybe August, or maybe July, or maybe in June. But because of that, you can see that the unemployment rate has been rising up and so on. But right now, the Federal Reserve has been saying that Fed did the right thing by holding the rates high because they want to make sure that inflation rate is do really dropping down. So this is actually a good thing. So the half point cut in September was reflections of confidence in inflation's return to 2%. So right now, as we already mentioned, from this speak, we can see some of the key points. One, the Federal Reserve didn't really focusing on the inflations. Second, we can see that the economy situation is not that bad. The spending power is forming a supporting area. Okay, third one, inflations will be going back 2%. It's just a matter of time. And fourth, we are likely to see a rate cut in November. Okay, November will be cutting on another 25 basis points. So in the longer time frame, we are expectations that the dollar index will be continue going lower. So this is really important. Okay, so going back on the dollar index, so what is going on? So this is what we expect going back to a rebalancing out. So I'm thinking that we probably will be continue waiting on if we really want to do trades. I'm thinking that I will be waiting for the price to break through here. If you do really wanted to trade it here, you can try to use 1 minute as a reference. So you can see that this is the manipulation phase, displacement down, rebalancing out, and going on the lower sides. So you can actually just try to do shots from here if you really wanted to, but if you want more confirmations, you can wait for this 50-minute to drop. If you want to have a short-term trades with the R&R, quite a high R&R, you can use 1 minute time frame. So later on, I will be talking about some of the strategy that you can use on. Okay. Some of the strategy that you can use on. Okay, so from the 1 minute, we need to see the manipulations. So this is the manipulations. So you can see that this is the manipulation phase. So we need to see a strong displacement. Okay, so this strong displacement have been formed, break of structure going lower, and it's going on this another again. So this is actually our doing short positions if you really wanted to do on. So you can see that the price has been going lower and lower and reaching through this low. Okay. So you can expect that the price is going this low. You can try to do shots from here, putting your stop loss 10 pips, and you are getting 1 to 8 or maybe 1 to 7 if you really wanted to. But right now we are waiting for the price to break through this 50 minutes because we already mentioned that we are likely to see some kind of retracement lower, and then we'll be doing a longer time frame trades on the bottom sides, and we'll be continue holding on $30 range. So if you're really interesting to do trades, please do follow our signal group. Okay, if you do really like my analysis, like my live streaming, you can try to join our live trading group. Okay, signal group for short. So our signal group is free, so join it right now. Okay. So join it right now. Okay, so going back, let's go back to our charts, but I'm thinking that it's mostly almost finished. Okay, so Federal Reserve Chairman has been speaking, as we already mentioned that the spending power is remaining healthy, the GDP and the labor market is not that bad. This and we'll be expecting another two more cuts in 2024, total 50 basis point, 25 and 25. Beginning to see housing services inflations flattening out as we already know. Okay, housing inflation is one of the biggest inflations and holding a lot of support to the inflation rates. So if this data is going flattening out, we can expect that the inflations will be dropping back to the 2% area. Okay, so Fed did the right thing and by holding the rates high as long as it did and wanted to be confident, the inflations will be falling down. Okay, the half point cuts in September was a reflection of confidence in the inflation returning to 2%. Okay, so this is really important. Okay, so this is the CME watch tools. We can see that the market is likely to go through a 25 basis point in November, comparing on the 50 basis point. So 60 point, 60.2% on 25 basis point, 39.8% in the 50 basis point. So we are exactly expecting that we'll be having another 25 basis point. So this will be forming some kind of support to the dollar index. So let's do a top-down analysis on the dollar index. Okay, I think we can't do any trade right now. If we do really wanted to trade, I think we need to wait on this one 50-minute range. You can see that the price do really respecting on this fair value gap. If you really wanted to, you can try to do shots from here, but I not really recommended it because you can see that this is the fair value gap might be reaching through much more higher. So I will be probably waiting for the price to break through this area. Only then I will be trying to do shots afterwards. Okay. So going back from the dollar index, so if you still remember, we already mentioned that dollar index has been forming this external to the internal range, and then the price has been going through a ranging area. Once the price has been going through this external range, or you can say grab of liquidity, we can expect the price is going higher and higher and reaching through another liquidity area. So where is it going on? I'm thinking that the price will be reaching through here to here, a 50% range. So my first area that the price will be going on will be here. So the price will be reaching through this area. And then once the price has been reaching through this area, expecting that the price back to the rebalancing phase. Okay. Okay, so let's see the comment sections below. See, is there any questions? Okay, there's no any questions right now. So right now we already mentioned that the dollar index is likely to go higher and reaching through this liquidity area. And I'm thinking that it's probably will be retracement and then continue going higher. So using that, we'll be using range. Okay, 50-minute range and probably will be reaching through this liquidation area. So once the price do really reach through this liquidation area, we might see a long positions. So go, yep, looking good, going up, grabbing liquidations, drawing out this fair value gap. So you can see, I'm thinking that this might be the order block. Okay, good. So right now we are thinking that the price is reaching back to a retracement. So where is it going on? I'm thinking if we can try to do long from here, it's the best, reflecting on, giving us some kind of rebalancing out, and then we'll be trying to do long. So it's around here, 50 minutes. Yep. If the price do really drop below, I'm thinking that we might be doing long positions afterwards. Okay. Okay, so going back from the next thing. The next is, and also the last thing is the currency strength index. So the currency strength index is really important. We have already mentioned yesterday. If you don't really know how to trade and you don't really know how to determine bias, currency strength index will be giving some kind of clue about it. So for example, right now the strongest pairing is the AUD pairing. So if I want to do trade and the highest ROI, you can try to do a long on AUD pairings and to the JPY. Why? Because the JPY is the weakest. So if you're trying to do AUD JPY, it's most likely on an uptrend. Okay. Comparing other thing, you can try to do long on New Zealand pairings and comparing to the JPY pairings, and or you can try to do shots on Euro New Zealand and also Euro AUD and so on. So you can use cross pairing. Okay, so currency strength index is really important. It gives you a confidence boost. Is your direction good? So I think I've been mentioned before, direction is really important. You need to know, you need to have a certain directions. What is the market going? Okay, is it going higher, going lower? Okay. Once you determine your bias, the only thing that you need to know is when to do long or when to do shorts. Okay, if you are determining that the bias is going higher, then you will be trying to do long in certain area, waiting for the price to retrance, or maybe you can just straightly market executions. Okay, so it determines on how do you review the markets. Okay. Okay, so this is really important. So, for example, let's go through the AUD JPY together, everyone. Let's go through the AUD JPY. Later on, we'll be continue monitor on the gold market. So AUD JPY. So let's go through together. Is it a long positions or maybe even a short positions? So going back, colors black and white, it determines on how do you want it to show. Okay, so reaching back, going back, so you can see that the bias usually will be on the higher side. So for example, if I know that the price will be likely to go higher, then this is actually a really good thing, the price reaching through a certain area. Once the price has been reaching through a certain area, I will be trying to do a long positions. For example, okay, going back from the weekly time frame. Okay, what is the market going on? The market is going a strong higher and reaching through this liquidations, this this liquidation, or maybe even liquidations as well. Okay, so once the price has been grabbing this liquidations, where is it going on? Going through a rebalancing. So where is the rebalancing going? Will be here. Okay, so once the price do really rebalancing out from here, what we can expect? The price is going on the higher sides. Going back from the 4 hour time frame where we can expect the price has been forming a really strong manipulations and displacement as well. So once the displacement has been formed, we can also see a break of structure. So right now it's likely to go on the rebalancing out. So you can see that it's actually forming some kind of um, grabbing this liquidations and then rebalancing out. So where is the rebalancing going on? So you can see that the price has been rebalancing out from here and then continue going on the higher sides. So we are exactly predicting that the price is going through a rebalancing right now because we can see that the price has been reaching through this and then the price has been rebalancing out. Okay, going back to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the price has been rebalancing out and disrespecting on this fair value gap. So I'm thinking that it's most probably is doing on the high sides, but mm, I'm thinking that is actually doing shorts will be much more beneficial. So from here to here, so this is actually an inverse fair. Inverse fair value gap, reaching through manipulations, displacement using 50 minutes, 5 minutes. So this is actually a really good one. Displacement on the downsides, rebalancing out. I'm thinking that the market might be reaching back towards this area and then after that will be continue on the lower sides. So probably it will be reaching through this area first, and then afterwards will be going on the lower sides. So doing long right now, it's definitely a plus. So I will be probably just try to do long using this 50%. So where is it? Probably on the 1 minute charts. So once the price do really break through this area, we can wait for the price to go back to this order this fair value gap, okay, and then we just do long in this area, putting your stop loss 4 pips, okay, 4 pips or 5 pips, and try to make it 10 or 12 pips. Okay, so looking through some of the questions, it's crude oil bearish. Yes, it is. Silver is also rising slightly. Okay. Okay. Silver is also rising slightly. And what is gold? Not so volatile now. Gold is waiting on the 10 p.m. data. So right now it's ranging area. Um, Advice that don't try to do any trades right now. You will be likely to manipulate by the markets. Just wait, the market has been announced, then we'll be doing trades together. Okay. So I'm also want to do another round of cool trading. Crude oil has also pulled and stood up. Can we wait for the corrections to start and then open short orders? Okay. So So right now we can see that the price has been reaching through and grabbing this liquidity area. So we'll be waiting for the price to reach through here and then we'll put our stop loss below, grabbing above here. Okay. So 50 minutes likely to continue on the higher sides and reaching through this certain area. Yep. I'm thinking that the market is going higher and reaching through this and reaching through this fair value gap. I probably would be doing long. Okay, so let's do a long positions together, everyone. I'm thinking that we actually can put one oh shit. I think we can wait a while. Um yeah, okay, the spread. Okay, this is might be the spread issues. So putting here, putting lower, we are probably will be reaching through this area. Okay, going back from the 4 hour time frame. I'm thinking we'll close it out first. Probably we'll be reaching through this other block. So make it here. So let's see how it turns out. Okay. This is actually a really strong supporting area and we are expected that we'll be rebounding out and reaching through this area. Even though that the spread is high, but we are likely to continue on the higher basis. Okay. Use the currency strength index to determine that where is the currency going. Okay, if the currency is going, the 80 period pairing has been going strong. Usually, we'll be putting pressure on the safe haven currencies. So the safe haven currencies such as the USD pairings, the JPY pairings, and also the CHF pairings. This is really really important. So, for example, if you're thinking that the economy situation is going good and everything is doing fine. So the then the risk assets will be forming some kind of support. Okay, so this is really important. So let's wait for the market to react. We already mentioned we are expecting that the price do really bounce back from here. So let's see how does the market react from here onwards. Okay, but because this is spread issue, so we enter a not a really good price. But is I think it doesn't matter because our expectations it's going higher. Okay, so let's see how does the market react. Okay, so wait a moment and see how does the market react. Okay, so you can see that the market has been rebounding back from here. So it's a good thing, but because of the spread, so we enter not a really good one. So because this is a 1 minute chart, so we enter from here. So the spread is about 3 pips. So if you are enter from here, you might be entering from here. So I think it's not a big issues because we are likely to see the market to go higher. Okay, so let's see. Do you think that the AUD JPY is going higher or going lower? Put your comment. Put your answer on the comment section below and tell me what's the reasons behind of it. Do you think that the AUD JPY is going weaker, or do you think the AUD JPY is going stronger? So let's see how it happens. Okay, we might be wrong to be honest, but we are seeing a really strong supporting line from here, and the price do really uh, reflecting on this supporting line. I'm thinking that this might be a small retrenchment on the internal to the external. Okay, there's two things might be happening. One is that the price do really break through and go a deep retrenchment. Second is that this might be a manipulations displacement. So we are trying to get a really good R&R, not a really good confirmations, but I'm thinking that this might be a really good try, and let's see how it happens. Okay. This is having an order block. If the price do really close above, then we are likely to see the price to continue going higher. Okay, so let's see. Okay, because this is a short-term trade, so we just make it a really small portions. I think we are just enter one and we are losing 81. If we get, we will be getting one to two around that area. So let's see how it happens. But I'm thinking that it's probably will be reaching through here or maybe even here. So I'm thinking that this is actually a really good supporting line. Okay. So if you're asking me what are my strategies, my strategy is using on the SMC, SMC. Okay, so later on, let's reviewing back and see how it happens afterwards. Hopefully that the price do close above. Okay, going on the gold market, we already mentioned that this is the 4 hour range. So where is the price is going on? We'll be going back to a rebalancing out. We already mentioned that it's not really possible that the price is going lower, but if we do, we will be doing long in this area. So we can see that the price do really forming support from this area. So this area, the price do really form a strong support. This fair value gap, so 50 minutes, so you can see that 1 minute charts, manipulations, displacement, rebalancing out from this external to internal. So once the external internal has been formed, we can put our stop loss 10 pips and expecting that the price will be reaching where? Reaching from here. Thinking that it's probably will be reaching here. So it's a really good R&R, but oh shit, AUDJPY we have been dropping out. So I'm thinking that it's likely to going on the lower side. So this is our loss of the day. Maybe the price do really reflecting on this or the block reaching through this level, and then the price is going on the lower sides, and it's going a deep retrenchment afterwards. Okay, so we have been taking out one of the losses. It's okay, as I already mentioned, this trade is actually R&R because much more focusing on R&R because we already mentioned that there's two scenarios that would be happening. The first is that the price is forming some kind of a deep retracement. Okay, this is the first scenario and it's happening on the first scenario. The second scenario is that this is forming manipulations and continue going higher. Oh, the JPY pairings going a really JPY pairings is going strong. I think there's some kind of news. So let's see, is there any news happening? Okay, so let's see, is there any news happening? Oh, not really. Oh, not really. I think there's no any particular news, but it's probably just the JPY doing some doing some doing some shitty things. Okay. So the gold market has been going higher. So this is actually a good trade. So if we do really go on this one, we might be trading on and continue going higher. So the price do really reflecting on here, rebalancing out and continue going higher. Hopefully, the later on the data will be giving us some kind of retrenchment. If not, it's really hard to do trades. Okay, so wow, the price has been reaching through really high in just a short period of time, reaching through this 41, maybe reaching even higher to 48. It's just only Tuesday. So I'm thinking that I will be using the data later on to do a retrenchment. Okay, so let's see. Today the two very precious metal are rising and gold has rising another 100 points just a short period of time. Yeah, we actually we can do this trade to be honest. Okay, we can do this trade, this fair value gap, external to the manipulations, displacement, and internal to external. So this is actually possible. Wait for the price, manipulations, displacement. Whoa, I didn't really expected that this a really big move. Wow, 160 move. I think is one of the. I think there's something news happening. So let's see. Is there any news happen? Okay, so let's see. News. The breaking news. So let's see. Is there any news? Uh, I mean, the US, the Japan. Nope, there's no any news right now. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. So I think we do have a news. So let's see together. Oh, I think we do really have. Okay, so let's see. I think we do have a news showing out. No wonder the price is having a really big volatility. Okay, going up. So this is the news. So Japan new prime minister has been burying the concept of a plan. Okay, so his statement on everything from nuclear power to monetary policy are by turns contradictory and vague. Okay, contradictory to vague. So it's actually not a good thing. Okay, so let's read through. Okay, this name Shigeru Ishiba becoming the 65th Japanese Prime Minister on Tuesday, and it will be represents a remarkable break with the recent past. Okay, all of the candidates to replacing Fumio Kishida was flawed, but given the public discontent with the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, the publicity fierce critic of the late. Okay, whose fractions was recent scandals over funding and influence. Savers facing the two options of broken through a chance might do a country some good, but is it a step right direction? Say, you will be about not okay. Not so sure. Might need some time. Japanese leader who has last tended to have a strong plan at the time of never-ending stagnations. Okay, ceaseless reforming to break Japan free and a vow to take back Japan. Okay, even Kishida promised though didn't deliver entire new form of. By contrast, nailing down what Ishiba wants Japan do look like it's more like a nailing jelly. Everything from nuclear power to policy by turning correctly value. In researching the I've been struggling by now his policy that seek to this to US confining with economy proposal little more and concept of plan unambitious as is a lot of like about scandal free and owners who pride himself fresh. There's nothing special about it, to be honest. Reading through, I think that the market is feeling uncertainty. So you can see that the gold, the JPY pairings has been going strong. This is my point of view. And he will carrying out new airs for a few politicians would be seen cosplaying as pink. Okay, Dragon Ball. Okay, he recently not really important, to be honest. I'm thinking that it might be some kind of spike, but later on I'll be reading through. So let's see. I think that this has been causing a really strong spike. Okay, shit. Okay. This might be creating strong spike. So the market is going through an uncertainty issue, so has been breaking through a lower sides. But yeah, this is also going lower sides. Yeah, reaching lower and maybe going on the lower sides. So dollar index is going higher. Yep. Gold market is going higher. Yep. Okay, let's do a analysis on gold market together. Okay, closing out and see what is going on. Okay, right now, the market is going the manipulations and displacement disrespecting on this fair value gap and reaching through this resistance area. So once the price has been reaching through this resistance area, we are expecting at 4 hour time frame. Is it 4 hour one? So let's see. Uh, is it four or one? I'm ready to use four, to be honest, because this is the range of the order block. Okay, so I'll be probably using for 50 minutes. There's nothing much we can do about it, to be honest. So I'll be using this area and going back from this. Yeah, we probably need to use 1 minute if we want to do long positions. So we are focusing on this area. If we do really wanted to do long positions, because this is the fair value gap and we are facing this 4 hour resistance area. So using for 51 minutes, we'll be waiting for the price to reach through this area. And then once the price do really reacting from this supporting area, then we can try to do long. I'm thinking that the market is going through uncertainty issues, I think because of the Japan some sort. So let's wait for the market to rebalance and try to do long. Okay. Today our first trade has been lost, but it's okay. I think that we will be continue to go on. Okay, the White House stated that Iran is preparing attack to Israel. I think this has been more impact. Oh, really? I didn't notice there's any news about this. Okay, I think that the market is going through. So this one. Okay, how long will the impact of this news last? One shot worth 1,000 tails of gold. Okay, so we'll be waiting for the price to reach through our point of interest. So once the price has been reaching through our point of interest, we'll be doing. Oh yes, finally announced. The US has been indications that the Iran is preparing a immediately launched missiles attack against Israel. Uh, so yeah, it's war. So no wonder that the market is going through this uncertainty issues. So we'll be waiting and doing long positions right here, waiting for the price, reflecting from here, going back, and retracement from here, and then we will be trying to do long positions aiming from here. So it's really good trading. We'll be waiting for the price to reaching through here and then continue going on the higher sides. Okay, so let's see, wait for the price to react and giving us some kind of manipulations. Manipulations. Okay, so let's see. Waiting for the price to going lower and then continue going higher. So just now the AUD JPY is because of the news. So this is unexpected news. So if the market do really form, I'm thinking that it probably will be hold and reaching through our TP area because of the news happening. So AUD JPY has been dropping quite much because the you as you know, AUD is commodity currencies, JPY is risk currency, risk as safe haven currencies. So once this news has been happening, then the price has been dropping quite much. Okay, but it's okay. Let's go back to the gold market and wait for the price to reach through our point of interest. Okay, so right now is a waiting game and see how it happens. Mm, you can see that this might be a manipulations, but I rather to wait a much more lower price first. Okay, so let's wait. So let's see the comment section below. Okay, how long will this impact one was not done before. There is no suitable place to enter now. I'm thinking that let's wait for the market to rebalancing out, reaching to this area and continue doing long. Okay. So what's your thought, everyone? Do you think that the market is going higher or going lower? But right now the price do really reach through this 50 range, 40 range, so I'm thinking that later on the data might be a really strong rebalancing out. So let's see. Okay, this is a strong manipulations, displacement. So if the price do really rebalancing out from here, I'm thinking that we might be using this as our reference, 50 range, because yeah, I will be using this as our range. Let's see how it happens. Yep. We have another 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, please do leave the comment section below. And I will be trading with you guys. Today we don't really have a good trades on the gold market because the gold market is very volatile. So it's hard to trade, to be honest. Okay, so if you have any questions, please do leave the comment section below. Okay, we have another 30 minutes, and after the 30 minutes, let's see how the market react. Okay, my expectations later on the JOLTS data will be lower than expectations. So this might be creating a new support or maybe a new high to the gold market and will be putting pressure on the dollar index and so on. So this is really important. So let's see how it happens. Okay, Hmm, maybe even lower, but this is a really strong fair value gap. Okay. I will be using this as our reference and this reference 50%, and let's see how it happens. Okay, so let's recap what we have been saying. Oh, so let's recap what we have been saying. So going back, we have telling you is had happened from the past week. The Chicago Purchasing Manager Index PMI is indicating the economy health of the manufacturing sector in Chicago regions. So the actual figure is 46.6. So it's higher than forecast, the market higher than forecast, so it's likely a really strong data. Okay, and this figure, even though it's higher than expectations but below 50 marks, so indicating that it's improving manufacture, but it's not that good. So what we can say, the Chicago PMI is also often used as a parameter to forecast ISM and manufacturer PMI. So we are likely to see some kind of support from the manufacturer PMI, even though that might be lower than 50. Okay, so the models increasing could potentially hint at a slightly more positive outlook for the broader manufacturing sector. So this will be forming some kind of supports from the dollar index. Okay, next is the Federal Reserve Chairman speaking. Okay, so as we already mentioned, the spending is not that it's a healthy level. So almost one of the biggest reason is that the market has been pre-using credits, so the credit cards, so the spending power has been rising back. Even though that the unemployment rate has been raising, the inflation rate has been dropping, but spending has been continue forming supports. So the labor market may give a real-time pictures. GDP doesn't predict downturn as well as labor data. So the data it's not really going too bad. This is what Federal Reserve has been saying. Okay, so Federal Reserve has been also won't be hurry up to cut rates and will be using data to see through what is going on. Okay, so if the economy involve what is expected, okay, then we'll be having a two more cuts, 50 basis point total, 25 to 25. Okay, so right now he also seeing that the housing inflation has been flattening out, so we can expect that the service industry will be also lowering down. So Fed did the right thing by holding rates high as long as it did and wanted to be much more confident inflations will be falling down. Okay. And the half points cuts in September is actually reflecting our confidence in the confidence of inflation's returning to 2%. So this is what it happens. So because of this, the CME watch through has been reflecting on will be most likely cuttings on 25 basis point rather than 50 basis points. So we can see that this has been forming support from the dollar index and putting pressure on the the risk assets. Okay, the currency trading index, as we already mentioned, if you don't really know how to gain your bias, currency trading index is your best bet. Okay, so you can try to do a strong currency to the weak currency. So, for example, AUD JPY, AUD New Zealand, AUD Euro, Euro AUD, or maybe AUD CHF, AUD CAD, and so on and so on. Okay, so currency strength index is just giving a bias on how do you do a trade. What do you think the market is going higher or going lower? Okay, so let's see the markets. The markets continue going higher, but it's okay. We'll be waiting for the price to reaching through here, and then once the price do reaching through here, I think we can just do long positions. We have another 8 minutes left. It's really hard to do long, to be honest. The best way we can try to do long will be here. So this is the 50%, dropping down lower to the 50% here, dropping down to the 50% here. So once the price has been forming here, we need to have a, so where is the 10? Okay, back to the 1 minute. So this is actually a good one. Going back was expected on manipulations and then on the manipulations displacement and going back on the higher side. So well, didn't expecting that would happen right here, but it happens. So once the price has been going up and continue on the higher sides. So I'm thinking that let's wait for another 6 minutes and see what it happens. So let's see, do you have any questions on the lower sides? How long? Okay. So the market is going higher and it's really hard to do trades in this kind of circumstance or maybe this kind of situations We probably will be waiting for another retrenchment, only we'll be trying to do long positions. Okay, so waiting for a long positions. I think, whoa, didn't expecting that crude oil goes so strong. Oh, because of the war. Okay, so this will be reflecting on the higher sides. So I was expecting that the price is going lower sides. Didn't expected this happens. So, but it do really give us some clue. Okay, manipulations. Oh, didn't expecting that much to be honest. I think that is because of the war, but later on I'll be talking much more about it. So the manipulation, displacement, reaching back, internal to external range, the price do really reflecting from here, going up, going down, and has been continued going higher. So we have another 5 minutes. Let's see how it happens. But thinking about that might be giving some kind of support. So what do you think about the markets? So let's see. Didn't expected that much, that strong. Mm, this might be the best way to do trades. Manipulations, displacement, rebalancing out, 50 minutes. There's also manipulation, displacement. So rebalancing out, waiting for the price to falling back on the lower sides, and the price continue going on higher. Oh, didn't really expecting that much. Let's wait for another 4 minutes. So let's see, do you have any questions? See, another 3 minutes left. Let's see how does the market. I'm thinking that the market might be rebalancing out from here, to be honest, because you can see that this is actually a liquidity area. Hoping that later on the data giving us some kind of manipulations. Once the manipulations has been done, we can actually just try to do long and reaching through this area. Not so sure is it possible, but let's see. We have another 3 minutes left. What do you think the market going on? Do you think the market is going higher or going lower? But we already mentioned, the price, the bias of the week is actually going higher and reaching through this level. So we are probably will be reaching through this high, but hopefully giving us some kind of retracement first, and then internal, and then reaching through this one. So if that really happens, we do really have a really good R&R, risk reward ratio, or maybe risk. Uh, so we have another 2 minutes left. Let's see. Okay, what's your thought? You can tell us your thoughts about it. Okay. So we have another minute left. Hopefully the market do giving us some kind of rebalancing out from here, but this is actually a 50 minutes, so maybe we'll be giving out some kind of rebalancing out. But if we do really trade from here, I think we our stop loss need to be putting a lot much more lower using 1 minute charts. So let's see how does the market react. Okay, so let's see how does the market react. Okay, we have another 10-second left. Okay, another five, five, four, three, two, one. Okay, do really expect that, but didn't expect so low. So what's the data? Let's see, what's the data? What's the data? Pending, pending. But didn't really reach through this area. Not a really good one, but this is actually might be reflecting on going higher. See, JOLTS is higher than expectations, but the other data has been going weaker, so this might be giving some kind of mixed feelings. But I will be waiting for the price to go lower first, because right now is actually the liquidity area, hoping that the price do really reach back. But if the price do really going back to the higher sides, then I'm thinking that it's not really suitable to do trades right now. Okay, so let's see, waiting for the price to reach back. I think it's possible, to be honest, because we already mentioned that with the price do really reacting on this liquidity area, so we are hopefully waiting for the price to reach through this certain area. Okay, so let's see if the price do break through above, then too bad. We actually can do a short-term trade. Maybe you wanted to just do long, putting a stop loss 40 pips and getting above. But yeah, let's see. Gold reflecting really strong. So we need to wait for the price to give us some clue. Oh, mixed feelings. But I will be continue waiting for to the price to reach through this green area first because the price do really this is the market maker sell model. It's possible reaching back and going higher. So let's see. Okay, going back on the lower sides. Let's see. See how it happens. The market still forming some kind of support. So, okay, so that's all for today. So, if you want to know more on the signal, you can just join our free signal group and we'll be posting that at there. Okay, so thank you for joining and we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you and see you guys tomorrow.